Welcome to the newest episode of the At the Helm podcast, where we steer through everything from sports to superheroes. I am your host, Blake Helms. With me today is a very special guest. She is a fellow graduate of Bear Valley High School, where she managed the football team and graduated with the highest honors. She then began to attend Iowa State University, working as a football manager for the Iowa State Cyclones, where in the last 2 years, she has been a member of back-to-back Cyhawk victories, the longest undefeated streak to open a season with, I believe, 7-0 last year. Got to attend the Big 12 championship game in Arlington, Texas at AT&T Stadium. Played in the opening game of the year, Week 0 in Dublin, Ireland. Got to play a game in Arrowhead Stadium and was a member of the 2024 Pop-Tarts Bowl victory team against Miami, who was led by the future number 1 overall pick. She is Makenna Maupin.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, so you started managing freshman year of high school. What led you to start doing that?
So actually, I started managing my sophomore year because freshman year was that weird spring season, and I was actually a cheerleader.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because I did that all through middle school. So obviously going into high school, it felt like the right thing to do. I had no clue football management was a thing until I'm sitting in world geography with Coach Jay, and we got into a heated discussion about the Cowboys and the NFL, and he saw my passion for football, and he told me that I needed to do football managing. Of course, I was like, what is this? Like, I don't know if it's for me. I, at the time, absolutely loved cheer, but he told me to email Coach Pistol. He was already going to let him know that I was going to be a football manager next season and just go from there. So I said, you know what? Let's give it a try. Emailed Coach Pistol. He gave me all the information, showed up at fall camp those 2 weeks, and just fell in love with it.
Awesome. So, yeah, you said it was because you were already a big football lover. Was there anything particularly that made you fall in love with football?
Definitely my grandpa. He's a huge Dallas Cowboys fan. Yeah, bit of a rough season, but in the 90s, I hear we were really great.
That's what Jerry Jones always refers to.
Yeah, we'll have our year again, but him and my mom were big Cowboys fans, and I just remember I was like 7 or 8 years old, and I'd watch the game with him, and Jason Witten and Tony Romo at the time was the quarterback, and there's one play where Tony Romo had, gosh, I couldn't even tell you, but it was like some sort of trick play pass into the end zone to Jason Witten, and it was like 2014, I think. And I just remember like, yep, the Dallas Cowboys are my team. I love football. And I wanted to be Erin Andrews so bad when I grew up. Like at that age, she was my idol. So I told my grandpa one day I'm going to make it to the NFL.
I can't wait to see that. We'll probably get into more of that later when we discuss it. So, when did you know you wanted to continue managing post-high school and into college?
Coach Pistol had always talked to me about how there was another female manager who I think at one point went to the University of Illinois. And he was always like, I think you could do this. Like, it's something you should look into. And I was like, oh, no, like that's not for me. Like, this is just a high school hobby. And then it got to be my senior year, and I was like, I don't want this to end. Like, I really enjoy this. This is my passion. I feel like not to be cheesy, but I was like, this is what I meant to do. Like, this is how I can attribute to a team. So I just started emailing around to different schools, like, trying to figure out if it even was an option for me. So I reached out to the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. Got a response back right away. He was like, the head coach was like, I'd love to meet you on your visit. So we took my visit, met Coach Mons, nicest guy ever, kind of introduced me to everything. And right then and there, I kind of like verbally committed, like, yeah, this is what I want to do. Like, I was dead set on attending Platteville. I was like, this is perfect. Like, I have the opportunity. And then I remember sitting in Miss John's food science class, and everyone's talking about going to Iowa State. Like, there were so many people in our graduating class, and I was like, is D1 even an option for me? Like, maybe I should see if I could. So I remember reaching out. Like, I found the directory of Iowa State football employees, and I just started reaching out to a bunch of different people. And honestly, about 3 weeks to a month had gone by, and I hadn't heard anything. So I was like, okay, like, it's not meant to be. Like, I'm already set on Platteville anyway. It'll be great. And then I got a response back, and I just remember it was essentially like the rundown of what's expected of me and all that. And then Mikey, my boss, was like, here's my number. I'd love to call you, like, do an over the phone interview, like, kind of get a feel for everything. And I was like, wow, like, this might actually be something I can do. So, yeah.
And I mean, yeah, even if, say in a world where, an alternate universe where it just hadn't worked out, or even the option and just the thing like, oh my gosh, this is actually a thing, would be cool. It'd be like, it's basically the equivalent of meeting with a recruiter to be a Division I athlete when you've already got a spot locked in. Would Platteville be Division II or Division
III, I believe.
Okay. So yeah, you're like, okay, okay, this feels good. I want to just continue this. Play the Division III school. And then all of a sudden, because you want to aim high, you contact a few Division I schools, and one of them's like, hey, maybe. This is like, wow, awesome.
Right. And it was just kind of like, for me, so rewarding, because it was like, wow, I like kind of did this on my own. Like, I had the encouragement and support from so many people, but it was like the fact that, okay, I took the time to look into this, to reach out to people. In that sense, it was just, it was rewarding. I was genuinely proud of myself of, okay, I didn't let, like, the fear of being rejected or, like, it not working out hold me back.
Yeah, and first thing that's coming to my head is the story of Josh Allen when he's coming out of high school and college. He emailed literally every head coach in the country, and then I can't remember if only one of them got back to him. Maybe it wasn't until the next year after he did like a junior college thing, and someone finally got back to him. I know Aaron Rodgers did junior college before he went to University of, was it California?
You're asking the wrong girl.
I'm not. I mean, yeah, this is before he was drafted well before our time. But yeah, I mean, he is Aaron Rodgers. I hate Aaron Rodgers. He has ruined my life for years being a Lions fan. Aaron Rodgers, that Hail Mary. I'm so glad my parents forced me to go to bed before that game ended. I wake up the next morning and I'm like, how? We were winning so well.
I'm also not a fan of Aaron Rodgers after what they did in the playoffs, because to this day, Des Bryant caught that ball.
You shouldn't have been in that game in the first place. The ref screwed you against the Lions the round before. It was obvious pass interference. And then let's not get into the refs, because I could go about them for the entire time of this reservation. So were there any other schools besides Platteville and Iowa State?
I did reach out to the University of Illinois because Coach Pistol, like, that's his team. I was like, okay, we'll see. Never heard anything back from them. Tennessee, strictly because Morgan Wallen shows up at football games sometimes, and I do like Tennessee a lot. So I was like, okay, like,
yeah, that would have been I love Iowa State. Like, it's obviously it's a D1 program in a Power 4 conference. That's really good. But there are tiers to college football, and as much as I think Iowa State's gone up a one or two since we've gotten here in the last couple of years, especially under Matt Campbell's time. But yeah, Tennessee is like, they're SEC. That's one thing, but they're also like upper SEC.
And truthfully, like, before coming to Iowa State and having this role with the football program, I did not have much college ball knowledge at all. So I had no clue, like you were saying, tier-wise, how far up Tennessee was. I was just like, oh, Nashville. Like, yeah. I could hang out there.
To be fair, I didn't know much about Tennessee's football team until just a few years ago. They had a really close game when they beat Alabama. And, I mean, obviously everyone knows Bama. And I believe this is even Saban's Saban's still there
Okay.
at this point. So that is the team in the era of college football with Saban-led Alabama. Then, yeah, beating them. I think they were number one for a little bit after that till they eventually lost a game or two. And then, it was another cool thing because their quarterback for that game, I believe he tore his ACL later in the season, but Hendon Hooker was their quarterback for that game, and the Lions drafted him in later rounds for the backup quarterback. Unfortunately, no longer on the team, cut him this offseason, but, it was always cool. Like, hey, if Goff ever goes down, it'd be nice to... It's probably a solid backup quarterback option to have. But, yeah, never needed him. But thankfully, Goff has been weirdly, insanely healthy his time with the Lions. Well, having a good O-line will do that.
I was going to say, hey, that benefits you guys. Can't complain there.
No, yeah. Yeah, not like Dak, softy.
Hey, he was running a little bit more last night. I mean,
I'm not saying
he had a few plays.
We're not talking about running. Goff doesn't run. Goff is a statue in the pocket. He got sacked like 6 times on Sunday because of that.
So did Dak. Oh my gosh, he got sacked so many times. We need an O-line right now.
Yeah, I turned it on because it's like, all right, small chance possibility. I'm not doing anything. Iowa State game just is over. They crushed because it's week one, game one. Obviously, you're going to play a low-level team to just get a whooping in real quick. But yeah, I turned it on like, oh wow, Dak just got sacked twice. Like not even bad sacks on him where he's holding the ball too long. He is getting sacked 2 seconds into the play.
Yeah, it's a building year.
Well, it only became that when they traded Parsons.
Why we did that is still beyond me. I'm still pretty upset about it, but I'll move on eventually.
Yeah, as we all do in football. It took me a minute, but I eventually did move on from the Stafford trade, although that rocked me. But I didn't immediately know. The second, I think, day of his trade, I said the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. And then they did the very next season.
Yeah, that was a good like full circle moment.
Yeah.
Thing.
Not to mention, that was probably the most even trade in NFL history because the Rams will win it until the Lions win a Super Bowl, but for obvious reasons. But yeah, the Rams wanted to win now. They got the quarterback to do it, and they won immediately. They won a Super Bowl, and they're still one of the top teams. They could do it again for all we know. They're definitely going to make the playoffs. They made the playoffs all but 1 year. Stafford's been there. That was because the entire team got hurt, including Stafford. But then, yeah, the Lions, in response to giving away just Stafford, we get 2 firsts, a third, and Jared Goff. The 2 firsts definitely really helped a lot because that allowed us to get some really good players like Jamison Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs. But getting a quarterback quality of Jared Goff from that trade, meaning we didn't have to search for one when he turned out to be really good, that was definitely the best part of it. But yeah, let's see. So, can you describe a little in more detail the process of becoming an Iowa State manager?
Okay, yeah. So once I emailed some female staff members because for whatever reason, when I was looking through the directory, I could not find anything like equipment related. Like I could not find Mikey's contact. So I think I ended up emailing our operations lady, and she's the sweetest person ever. Getting to know her. So even though I was so nervous in the moment emailing, it was like now that I know her, like it shouldn't have scared me as much as it did. Email, like I said earlier, Mikey had kind of given me the rundown of like what's to be expected of me, wanting to schedule an over the phone like interview. So we ended up doing that a week or so later, and he just kind of filled me on more of the like logistical information. And so went through with that, and he was like, just let me know when you come for a visit, like we'll do an in-person interview, because it is like essentially a job. Like we had to go through that interviewing process. So I think it was February. I ended up touring Iowa State, and I just remember being so nervous the entire time. Like I could not enjoy walking around campus because I was like this was huge for me. I had to go interview, and I didn't know what I was walking into. Like I didn't know what I was expecting. So anyway, I show up at like the Stark Performance Center, and I get a tour of the facility, like the equipment room, the indoor, all that, and then I sit down. And like, I've done pageant interviews before. It's asking me questions about myself. That's completely what I expected, but it was more of a, here's the duties you're gonna have. Here's what fall, spring, and like fall camp look like. And they spelled that all out for me. And then it was like the interview was kind of done, and they're like, "Do you have anything else?" I was like, "Well, like, do you have any questions about what I do, like now in high school, or any information you want from me?" And then we talked for like 30 minutes more of like my experience or like the knowledge I have. And then they're like, "Okay, like we'll call you in a couple weeks and let you know what we decide." A couple weeks go by and I don't hear anything. And I'm like, "Okay." Like I keep getting more nervous and I reach back out. I was like, "Hey, like have you made a decision? No rush." And he's like, "Oh, like we'll get back to you in a couple more weeks." It's like, "Okay." So it's just like it was a big waiting time for me. I just kept getting more and more nervous, and I'm like, "Okay, like I have to get back to Coach Munns at Platteville, whether or not like I'm gonna be a part of their team, or else he's gonna have to keep looking." And so during that waiting period, like I was so nervous. I was trying to figure out like where I was even going to school at that point. And then finally, end of March, I was getting ready to leave for my spring break trip, and I get a text from Mikey. "Can I call you in 15 minutes?" I was like, "Absolutely." And he called me and he was like, "I'd like to offer you the job." And I just remember being so excited and just like thankful. And then actually last season, he told me, "When I offered you the job, I didn't know if there was a spot for you or not. I just took the chance." And so yeah, I thought that was really funny. But after me, he ended up hiring 3 more students. So there like more positions did end up opening up. So he didn't get in trouble with that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's kind of the process. I mean, similar to a regular job, just different stages of interviewing, I guess, and
Okay.
like filtering people in and out.
Okay. So, yeah, you said they discussed what your duties would be. Can you take us through like what your duties are during practices and games?
Yeah, so my first season, it was a little different than what it is now, just because like I was newer, like migrating into everything. But they also kind of had me working under another manager who had graduated. So like she's no longer with us this season, and I've kind of just stepped into the role that she's done. So I work with the corners, and during practices, so we'll come in early, we'll set up, and then we'll do different projects like building game loops, polling, game pants, pre-game loops, all that, just preparation for game day on Saturday. And then we go out to practice, and it's different every day in the sense of like my role. So sometimes I can be on chains, and I'm doing like the down box, or I'll be spotting the ball left, right, different yard lines. I pass out headsets, which like has gotten me to have like just like a good relationship with all the coaches because they know my face, like they know my name because every day I'm giving them their headset. And then during Indy, I work directly with the corners, so catching balls. I've gotten really good at being able to catch a football.
Probably better than I am.
Questionable.
Without the gloves, probably. I desperately needed gloves in high school.
Yeah. See, I don't have to use gloves. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not catching every pass, and the corners know that. They do. They're really good about kind of gauging because they know if it's a deep pass, I'm not catching it. So they're really good about that. But yeah, that's kind of the practice rundown. I mean, afterwards we break and we head to class. And then if we have free time, like we continue working on other projects. Like we're constantly getting gear in, so we're heat pressing that and just always preparing for the next thing.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, so on when it's, finally the best day in college, it's Saturday, everybody's getting fun. I know what the student timeline is for a game day, but what is like your kind of quote unquote schedule? Because obviously going to change a little bit game to game, but
Right. And truthfully, for us, it really doesn't, because we're always in 5.5 hours ahead of game time. So like our last game that was at 12, we were in 6:30. Yeah. The Cyhawk game, that was an early morning,
oh yeah,
a very early morning, but like we just get going right away. So it's, for me, there's no time to essentially be tired. Like there's a job to do. We're getting going. And so I'm inside crew. So that means we set up the locker room every Friday night. And then inside crew will go in, we'll tighten helmets, tighten detaches because we have a grass field. So we're wearing detached cleats. We're turtle waxing helmets. And then we go in and we're getting like the window and all the accessories and game gloves ready for when the players do end up arriving. Because although we build our game, like their game loops for them ahead of time and we hang them up, they'll always come up to the window, which is it's essentially, yeah, just like a big window. Like it has a garage door and everything. So we're in the equipment room and they're like in a hallway and they just come up and they ask for anything they need. So like accessories is a big thing. If they're changing gloves or if they need like compression t-shirts or something in a different size, or I mean, we have short sleeve, we have sleeveless, we have long sleeves. Like we have options for them to come up. So on game day, like as soon as the team arrives, that's what I'm doing. We're heat pressing their numbers because we do pass-throughs for each player. Like every player has a number. So we're heat pressing it with that. So then it's like, okay, like that's how they're associated to us. We know whose it is. So we're just doing that. And then afterwards, I head down to the field and we have an indie period after stretch. So I'm with the corners helping them. And then I run straight back up to the locker room to start passing out stuff for pregame and all that, getting any last minute items for the players. And then once they come out of the tunnel, I'm usually not far behind. And then I'm working offensive bench, as well as we have this thing called the bear, which is, again, just like a table to work on helmets if something goes wrong or hand out extra gloves. And so like the players and coaches know they can find me there. If they need something, I'm going to be able to get it for them. And then I bounce between offensive, defensive benches, just making sure the sidelines picked up, the whiteboards are clean for when the coaches are using it. The heaters right now, that's a big thing, making sure the players aren't too close to that to burn through their pants, or just like if they need it turned up, turned off, I'm helping with that. And then halftime I run up, I do the same. I'm passing out towels during halftime, making sure the players have everything they need. And then back on the field, doing the same with the benches. And then after the game, I go up to the press box and I do like our coach to player headsets. I get that all cleaned up, and then I head down with the big trunk and I'm trying to fight through the crowd, and people aren't understanding that I have a job to do, like I'm needing to get through. So you get the short comments every once in a while, but you know me, I can stand my ground.
Oh, yeah.
So, I fight through the crowd, and yeah, it's just a grind. We're probably there an hour and a half, 2 hours after the game's done, just putting everything away. And then of course you got your crew for game laundry. So I was on game laundry last game, and I was probably there until 10:45 p.m.
So you got there at 6:30 a.m.
Yeah.
And you were there till 10:45 p.m.
Yes. Yep.
Wow. Gee.
Yeah. Like today, even I put in a 10-hour day.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. But I mean, it's so worth it.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
absolutely. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Oh, yeah. You wouldn't have to pay me to be just around a D1 football program all time. Yeah. So, yeah, that sells it. You do have the busier schedule.
Busier, maybe a little, but I feel like I manage it well. I really do.
You are a manager. It makes sense. Yeah. I remember. I guess when we got together over last winter break, I was just like, who's busier, the engineering student whose classwork's definitely a lot more, or the one that has the job on top of it with the full. It's definitely you. I mean, I don't have to work my class schedule around going bi-weekly plane trip to 1,000 miles away, but
Yeah, I mean, being a marketing major, yes, school does not stress me out. Like I can imagine your coursework does, and also my professors are great. Like they totally understand that I'm leaving. I advance this season, so I leave on Thursdays.
oh, okay.
And arrive in whatever city we're playing in. So I'm missing class Thursday, Friday, but they have been so great. Like they work with me, no problem. They're completely understanding. So yeah, thankfully I'm never truly stressed about my coursework or anything like that.
This is why I'm always sending you reels about how easy business majors have it.
That's true. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I'm a little nervous to take my finance exam, but we always make do.
Yeah. Yeah, you should have seen Payne, Connor, and I after our last statics exam. We were like, why did we do this to ourselves?
Yeah, I can't imagine that's too enjoyable.
Yeah, no, I think the average was definitely like a 60%.
Was it curved?
No.
Oof.
That they tell you going in, this class will absolutely never, ever, ever be curved. It's not calc. They're not nice to you. But yeah, I make do. I was able to do. I did better on it than I thought I would.
That's good.
Yeah, especially the fourth question. There's only 4 questions, and they take 2 hours to do all 4 of them. Because yeah, there's a lot to do.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna show you. Oh shoot, I don't have my folder. Dang it. I was gonna show you one of my homework questions. Although this week's homework is like really easy so far. I've only done the first 2. Don't if the last 4 are bad, I will learn. But yeah, the first 2 have been. These topics have been a lot easier. Instead of we're just doing diagrams based on the shear moment and bending, the shear force and bending moment throughout beam, instead of a lot of forces and machines and trusses and moments and all that stuff. You don't.
I'm gonna smile and nod like I understood what you just said.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, no, it's fine. Engineers.
Okay.
Yeah. Luckily our Connors and I materials class is a little nicer than the other 3. That's the thing. I only have 4 classes this year.
Hey, that's not bad, but it sounds like you have to put in a lot of effort
No, yeah,
for them.
Statics especially, like calc. Obviously, calc is basically the same kind of. Like I know exactly what to expect with it. Physics, pretty much the same workload stuff, but it's definitely a lot more difficult this year because most of the physics we did in Mr. Banks' class. Were you in that? Were you in physics? Did you take physics?
I only took chemistry with Mr. Banks.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was a small class, but yeah, our chemistry class freshman year was mostly that stuff. Then maybe a little more in depth, and then later towards the end, basically the same thing with physics. Pretty much, that was Mr. Banks' goal to do pretty much the first semester of college chemistry and physics in his full year of it. So that was
well,
good.
I guess that benefits you a little bit then.
Yeah. And yeah, Calc 1 was basically a review of high school calc for the most part, and even the first few lessons of Calc 2.
Shout out Mr. Lynn.
Oh yeah, thank you. Oh my goodness, I know he must have got so annoyed with all the questions. Like I'd be there every homework assignment, asking questions. So yeah, I did that. So you said you came with 4 just your year coming in. How many equipment managers does Iowa State have?
Well, actually, my year coming in. Hang on, I have to think. There was 6 of us coming in. There's 5 freshmen, 1 sophomore girl. She ended up moving to recruiting, and she loves it. And then we had 2 boys quit, and then 1 ended up quitting this season. So it's just me and another guy left from like our class, and there's a total of 12 managers, I believe, this season. And I mean, we all have our role. We all, like, if one's not there, it kind of slips a little bit just because we're all needed for practice, absolutely, to get it to run smoothly. So that's why it's like, if we're late, we're automatically put on game laundry. Like, it's a job. You have to be there on time. Make sure you're being productive, and absolutely, I think we're all needed in order to make kind of the operation run as smooth as it can.
Okay.
And that's students. We have 2 full-time guys.
Okay.
Our one full-time guy was actually an equipment manager student at Iowa State. He started in video and then moved to equipment his last 3 years.
Okay. So, yeah, there's obviously in just size, there's a big difference between Bear Valley high school football in a school of barely 300 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. To Iowa State University D1 football program at a school with over 31,000 undergraduates alone. So, obviously, what are the biggest differences, and are there like any similarities between high school and college?
Like within the football program?
Just kind of like what you do, and the football program in general.
Okay, so in high school, I always did the water. Like, that was my job. That's all trainers here.
Okay.
So I do not touch water at all. I'm more like fixing helmets, which granted we do leave those to like the full-time guys, but they know like if there's a helmet or a shoulder pad issue, to find one of us, we'll go tell our boss to get that done. And we're really like drill heavy. Like, that's where we're needed essentially throughout practice. Whereas like in high school, I would help Coach Lindsay sometimes snap the ball, like with the cadence of that. But yeah, now it's like I'm involved one way or another, or around for the drills throughout practice. Like I talked about earlier, chains, spotting the ball, making sure that all happens, which also Coach Pistol did teach me how to do chains in high school. Yeah, so I had some knowledge coming into that.
Yeah, I was trying to remember if there were like some practices where we like had you guys like a mock game, like we would have a referee and you guys would like do chains or something.
There's a couple times, actually throughout all of high school. I think I might have done it like 4 times.
Yeah, because it was literally like usually just like before the first game, mostly, especially for any people that were new to football, like a Corbin Chim who's starting his senior year, or just new to varsity football, like Bryce. I just obviously first person to come to my head.
Right.
Yeah, who, especially him, since like, yeah, that's crazy. Him being a guy who he obviously played JFL a lot, but he breaks his collarbone his first fresh soft game, and then the next year he's the varsity quarterback.
Yeah, I was gonna say just kind of jumps right into it.
Yeah. And yeah, obviously he's a great athlete and everything. He takes to it like a fish in water, but yeah, obviously. And yeah, I think I remember I gave you a little practice, I guess, with the fixing the helmets. Was it the homecoming game senior year where I noticed that for some reason, somehow the little thing that locked my chin strap in place, it all of a sudden was gone.
Yes.
Yeah, it fallen out. Yeah, so I have to quickly find you, and you just like run to the bench, and I'm at the team kneel before the game, and then I'm walking to when we're about to run onto the field without my helmet. Then you come give it to me right before we do it.
Yes, I do remember that actually, because Riley and I were trying so hard to like get everything together, because another difference, like we had one little toolkit of all the helmet parts, and it's like we have drawers and a whole helmet room in our equipment room. Obviously, bigger scale, like that's to be expected. But yeah, you did give me some practice with that. I remember, I don't know whose helmet it was, but our last game, our senior year, I had to completely replace the chin strap.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
Yeah, guess saved you the headache of getting me a new part in general by being out for the season after that game.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
No, yeah, you're telling me no more basketball and football for you, and you weren't gonna play much baseball anyway, but now even less.
Yep.
Yeah. You think you have a chance to maybe play a little right field? Nope, you can't run.
But hey, you kept me company.
Yep,
so
and
I
no
enjoyed
no
that.
one else could run the game changer on that. The one time I'm on base for a prolonged period because I get on and I eventually score. They are like 3 batters behind.
Yeah.
So the pitch count was definitely way off for that pitcher. I'm just like, okay, I think he grounded. I just immediately like, he grounded, he struck out or whatever. They were so
No brainer about that one.
Yeah.
You really had game changer figured out.
yeah. I don't know why I stopped doing it junior year. I guess Riley Cole really wanted to do it towards the end, and then we started losing. I should have taken it back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I should have taken it back, but yeah, definitely definitely no connection senior year. It was always me whether we won or lost.
I'm still trying to figure out what's considered an error in baseball and not.
It is the worst. It's a very judgment call thing. Like it's like, oh, could he have gotten that? To be fair, sometimes I'm like, I'll give it.
You're padding their stats, huh?
One time I patted it indirect badly for Bryce because he got a fly ball that I know he 100% should have caught, but he's got his hand in his back pocket because it was a cold day, trying to keep his hand warm. So I'm like, that's an error, Bryce. You should have gotten that one. But
I actually do remember that play because you got a lot of hate for that.
From Bryce or
From all of them. They like jumped you.
yeah. I remember sometimes they were mad. I think one time Ethan Freeman got mad at me because I guess I gave him 3 errors. I'm like, no, I gave you 2, which were 100% errors, but Coach Schisler must have put the third one in after the game or whatever because he can do that. He changes it after the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I remember one game Newman where we like gave up 10 runs, but only one of them was earned because we like had like 8 errors or whatever.
I'm impressed that you can, like, guys in general, all your, like, being able to pull up stats or, like, what exactly happened when, I've always been amazed by that.
Us being insanely angry and if there's a key emotion connected to it, that definitely helps. Like with that one, I just said I was very angry. I was very upset with it during that game or whatever. I was upset with Bryce when it doesn't have his hand in his pocket. I think we won that game handedly anyway, so it was whatever. But yeah, and hey, you know what? Pitchers should be happy if I give someone an error. It means if that guy scores, it doesn't hurt their earned run average or whatever.
I actually did not realize that.
No, yeah, because that's being earned run errors. There's a little variancy with it, depending on outs and stuff. But yeah, like earned run errors are not earned runs.
Okay.
So like there's 2 outs, grounder. So the guy just throws it way over the first baseman's head on a guaranteed out. That and a run scores, that run doesn't count because if a proper play would have been made, that run wouldn't have scored, kind of thing. And there's a lot more to it. Baseball and statistics, man. There's literally a whole movie. There's a movie about baseball statistics.
Moneyball.
Yes.
That's a good movie.
Yes, we read the book in my history of sports class last year, and I got to discuss it at least. I think I discussed it a little bit in my final essay, which was neat. I mean, and yeah, I think because I knew we were gonna watch it, I read it. I watched the movie like over spring break or something.
Oh.
Because I saw it was on TV. Yeah. He should have taken the Red Sox job. The GM behind it would have won a World Series if he'd taken the Red Sox job. They stuck with the Oakland A's, the worst franchise. Well, I can't say they were the worst franchise. They've won 9 World Series. That was just like all 50 years ago. Now because their owner actually spent money. Now they're cheap. And now they're moving to Las Vegas.
Are they really?
Yeah. Right now they're not even in Oakland Athletics. They're not the Las Vegas Athletics. They're just the Athletics because they don't have a stadium.
Wait, didn't it used to be the Oakland Raiders before they moved to Las Vegas, or did I make that up?
No, they were
It
the
did?
Oakland. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're just kind of following that?
Everybody's leaving Oakland.
Why?
I don't know. They don't know money. Because I know the Golden State Warriors, they used to play in Oakland. Now they play in San Francisco.
Like they're the Oakland?
No, they're Golden State.
Oh, they just
switch cities. I mean, technically for the Golden State Warriors, the entire state of California is an option.
That's true.
Yeah. So I mean, there could be 3 NBA teams in LA from if they really wanted to, but no, yeah, they're definitely a Bay Area team. So, but yeah, I guess could make more money in a stadium in San Francisco or whatever. Yeah, I think there was actually one World Series that it was San Francisco versus Oakland in baseball.
Really?
Yeah, it may have been a different World Series, but I know at least one that includes San Francisco. There was an earthquake during a game.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah, it was in the 80s. Yeah, that was interesting. Let's talk about some of the bigger games you've been a part of. Obviously, all college games are really fun and cool and big in their own way, but Cyhawk, I mean, in this area, Iowa has no professional team. That is the biggest game probably in any sporting event in the state of Iowa.
Okay, I was always very honest from the beginning. I did not see it as any different than any other game like we had played up till then because, I was not into college football. I didn't understand the rivalry. I was just like, okay, it's whatever. And then being there, like, and on the sideline especially, like the energy was insane. Like you could tell how bad we wanted that win, like that win specifically. And then obviously all my coworkers, like they got really into it because obviously Hawkeyes, like we don't tolerate them. Like, yeah. So they were really into it. So I'm just feeding off of them. I'm feeding off of the players. And oh my gosh, that kick at the end. I don't think I've ever jumped so high.
Yeah, and you were it was on TV. You were perfectly positioned right behind Matt Campbell. I didn't see it because I was too busy jumping up and down myself in the video room in Towers, jumping up and down.
Yep.
Excited.
I remember my parents didn't see it at first either. They had gotten texts from different people of that video, and then I'm just getting flooded like the same video over and over of, oh my gosh, you're on TV. I was like, what? Like that was kind of a surreal moment. And then this year even, it was like, okay, like we have to keep this trophy home. Like, and it's in Jack Trice. It was just, and even, I don't know, even now, like it's only my second season, but I was like, yeah, fuck the Hawks. Like I'm ready to win.
Yeah, that was a very loud chant in the stadium that day for obvious reason. Did they have any towards like fuck the clones or whatever?
I don't really get to interact with the other team much at all. So
no, I didn't know if maybe like you heard the crowd or something.
Oh gosh, I could barely even tell you what play is happening. I like how busy I am on the sideline or like just trying to make sure everything's getting done. I barely watch the game or pay attention to the crowd.
Did you notice the one big thing going on in the crowd this last game with the just giant section of shirtless guys waving their T-shirt?
Yes, yeah. I did notice that. It was kind of hard to miss.
Yeah, exactly. yeah. And then eventually Cy got up there.
Cy got up there?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not see that.
Yeah, that was funny. He after they filled that entire section with them. Yeah, it's just funny. You just see up there the one guy that started it. Yeah, I definitely I'd seen that on the internet a couple times.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know what game or whatever it was, but yeah, for some reason student section kind of cleared out, or maybe it's because the weather was kind of crappy on Saturday.
Yeah, the weather really did kind of put a damper on everything.
And then obviously it wasn't the most. It was close, but yeah, just something about it just didn't. Yeah, the environment just goes kind of crappy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you're wanting as much support for the team as possible. So seeing that happen, it was kind of like,
yeah, I didn't get it. I'm like, okay, guys, I understand it's raining a little bit, but I mean, and we're losing, but guys, we're only down like 4 right now.
Yeah, it's just like that wish-washy. It's like when we're up, okay, everyone's on your side, but when we're down, it's like, oh, they can't wait for basketball season to start up. Like, I don't know. It's fair weather fans. I've never been able to get behind them.
People are very fickle, and I that's why I kind of hate going on in comment sections on like even Lions videos after a loss. I'm like, guys, I understand it was a bad game, but it's the one loss. So it's not like we're back in 2008 in the winless season. We are 5-3. We are fine.
Yes.
And yeah, I think at this point for Iowa State, I think unfortunately the Big 12 hopes are kind of it's not going to happen this year, but bowl game.
We need one more win.
Yeah, just one more win, and we play Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
So hopefully, we get that bowl game, getting a bowl game, another bowl win, be really fun against hopefully a fun opponent. We probably won't get the team's not performing quite as good as last year, so probably not going to get the high level opponent or high level bowl game this year like we did last year. Because I can honestly say I think last year we had like the biggest bowl game that wasn't a playoff game.
Yeah, absolutely, we did.
Yeah, because it's two teams that were one team in their conference championship, another team that was high ranked all year, just didn't quite make it, and had a Heisman prospect as their quarterback, had the guy who pretty much everybody knew, okay, this guy's gonna be the number one pick in the draft this year, for assuming that team needs a quarterback, which obviously ended up happening.
Yep.
And it was a really good game.
That game was so much fun. I loved that entire experience. It was like a mini vacation too, just because like we go down a couple days early to prepare. Like we practice in Florida and everything. We flew out on Christmas, so that was kind of like it was just such a different experience because I'm so used to like, being around my family. Like we have our Christmas traditions, and like that was odd. But they had like a Christmas dinner for us and everything. And me and my other female coworkers, we got matching pajamas and we took photos in front of like the Christmas tree in the hotel. Like really away trips are what we make it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that game was a lot of fun. I really did enjoy that experience. So I'm hoping we get to go to another bowl game for sure.
Yeah, and that was also a fun game for me because that was literally pretty much all I did because that was on my birthday. That's literally that's all I did on my birthday last year was I got my new Iowa State 24 jersey on, and I'm watching us beat Cam Ward in the Miami Hurricanes. That's the other thing. It's just a fun it's Hurricanes versus Cyclones. That's just kind of a fun mascot matchup, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we got those Pop-Tart mascots. And
yeah. How many Pop-Tarts did you eat?
Too many. Way too many. Because they had, I don't know what you'd call it, specialty boxes maybe of like Miami's logo, our logo, the Pop-Tarts Bowl trophy. That I did not eat any from, but like they were given to each player at their lockers, and they just had an abundance of them sitting around. So we each took a box. We had them for breakfast for days where it's like I'm just now being able to eat a Pop-Tart again.
Okay, yeah. I think because when we had the Ireland game this year, they had a little thing in Hilton for the game where students were able to go in, and they had the Cyhawk trophy and the Pop-Tarts Bowl trophy there. I got pictures with both of them. I think that was the first time I'd ever had Pop-Tarts.
In your life?
My family just never bought them. Like my
Blake.
And I don't eat breakfast.
I don't eat breakfast either, but I've like grown up on Pop-Tarts. That was your first time at 19 years old eating a Pop-Tart?
That I can remember, yeah.
What flavor did you have?
Cinnamon.
All Pop-Tart flavors and you chose cinnamon.
I like cinnamon.
Okay, what were your thoughts on the Pop-Tart?
It was good.
There's definitely better.
Okay, well, I don't know that.
As a Pop-Tart connoisseur, I will teach you what flavors you need to try.
I'm a very picky eater, but okay.
I'll keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
I just chose cinnamon because I've never had anything that was if I like something and it was flavored cinnamon. If I like something that was flavored cinnamon, I've liked it. Mostly because I love applesauce. And I love cinnamon flavored applesauce. And cinnamon. It's like the best spice.
I am just in shock that 2025 was the first time you've ever had a Pop-Tart.
Like I said, my family never bought them. If we were having breakfast, it was either cereal or waffles.
Okay, that's an elite breakfast lineup.
Yeah, except the rare. And yeah, that's the thing. Rarely have I had pancakes for actual breakfast. We mostly have them for dinner.
That's fair. That's what my family does.
Same thing in French toast. And the few times I have pancakes for breakfast, it was because we were at my grandma's, or my grandma was at our house, and she always made pancakes.
Yeah, usually I feel like my family's the same way. It's grab and go breakfast,
Mm-hmm.
and then like we'll occasionally have the like sausage, bacon, eggs, pancakes, whatever for dinner.
Yeah, that's always the best night of the week.
I
Breakfast for
agree.
dinner. Yeah. Pancakes are so good. I mean,
I think they're better than waffles.
I agree.
Okay, good.
Except, yeah, I do love when we're on vacation using those waffle irons that they have in hotels, though.
Yes, the Drury has the best waffles.
Yeah. Although one time, I could kind of honestly still see the spot where it happened on my palm. I got burned on it once. Yeah, big puffy burn right on the palm of the hand there.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Springfield trip with my grandparents. Got to see. Yeah, that's when we went to Springfield. Went to all the Lincoln stuff. I'd been to pretty much all that stuff already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the Lincoln Museum. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember all of this. Yeah, seen that. Yeah, seen that. Cool.
You could have been our tour guide.
A little bit, honestly. Obviously, I didn't remember everything because I'd gone there when I was like 8. But yeah, it was always fun. I think that's also the day when my sister got the nickname Sparkles from my cousin Nate, and that is all he calls her now.
Really?
Still to this day, yeah. Maybe my Aunt Sue gave her the nickname. I can't remember.
Did she do something to deserve this nickname?
She was a little girl. She probably wore a lot of sparkly clothes.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah. I think we also went to Lincoln's house in New Salem, Illinois, which is where he lived briefly before he moved to Springfield.
I don't even know where that is.
No, I barely remember. I barely remember just the fact that we went there, and it was kind of an older, like obviously it's not in the middle of a state capital, so and they were able to actually the entire thing was Lincoln, just pretty much that entire area, and obviously that's the thing. I don't know of any other states that have their entire identity based on one person, no matter how famous they are, and Illinois' entire identity is Abraham Lincoln. It's even funnier. He wasn't even born there. He was born in Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yeah, and then he briefly lived in Indiana also. But yeah, obviously spent the majority of his adult life in Illinois as a lawyer and politician.
Right.
And then obviously president of the United States in the most probably important time to be president of the United States besides when George Washington was president.
Yeah, that's a fair statement.
Yeah, which is why I think for a lot of people he is the greatest president because you have to deal with that. Obviously, he died from a gunshot wound. He would have died probably way before he should have just because of the stress of that job.
Yeah.
Well,
didn't he have like severe depression or something?
Well, yeah, like his young, when he was young, in his like 20s, his fiance died. He had like 2 children die very young because it's the 1800s. Everybody did, unfortunately. And he probably had other stuff, his mother, father, whatever, childhood stuff, and maybe one of them died young when he was little. I can definitely his mother. I think his mother died young. And then obviously he has to deal with the Civil War as president. Like I remember hearing this one story of, I guess a guy there was a mask of his face that I guess had been made when he was alive. People, like, I guess a professional artist assumed it was a mask of when he was dead because just what he looked like.
Aging.
Yeah, he aged from when he was elected president to his death in just that 4-year span. He aged probably like 15 to 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, he's dealing with he's dealing with war of the greatest scale you can have because you're fighting Americans who have left America, who just said, yeah, the South was like, no, slaves, yes.
Yeah, the stress he was under, and like you said, the aging I'm sure he went through. So to think I complain about the dark circles under my eyes, I'd say I have a pretty easy life.
Yeah, not to mention we get to live. That's the thing. He also dealt with all this in hot summers with no air conditioning.
It's a crime.
Yeah, it's just,
it really is.
What can you do?
My AC unit's running all the time in my house.
Yeah, I had no AC in my room last year. Hell. The first few weeks of school were hell.
Yeah. See, can't relate.
Yeah.
Shout out Willow.
Yeah.
I loved Willow.
Yeah, that's why I like my room in Friley this year. Although it's been really hot the last week.
Really?
Yeah.
Still no AC? Or
No,
do you have
AC.
some?
AC, but it's bleeding out a lot of hot air.
Oh.
It's because it's getting colder for obvious
Yeah.
reasons, but still kind of weird. How would you describe the culture of the Iowa State football team?
I mean, you see it in all of Campbell's press conferences. He'll talk a lot about it, but like when I think of our culture, the one word that comes to mind is team. We have it on a lot of our gear. There's no room for a me guy, like staff, player, any of that. We're all working for the same goal. And I feel like Campbell does a really great job at like keeping us on that track. And yeah, it's like no job is too small. No job is insufficient. And yeah, I really do see that in the day to day for sure.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but maybe it's mostly because his last name is Campbell a little bit. But yeah, I see a lot of similarities in just kind of their attitude between him and Dan Campbell, the Lions head coach. Yeah, very team oriented. Everybody get physical. Everybody does the little things. All that kind of stuff. Which, I mean, yeah, that's clearly a very proven way of working and a good thing. Which also makes it impressive because, like, obviously we're not the highest recruit. Like, obviously we're not Alabama. We're not Georgia. We're not going to get every 5-star we can ever imagine. And unfortunately, we don't quite have the NIL funds of a lot of Big Ten or SEC schools. But I rarely hear of anyone transferring out or.
No, we really don't have, like, obviously last season is what I have to compare to, but we really don't have a lot of guys transfer out. We do have, like I said, a really strong, like, team built program. We all want the best for each other. We all have the same common goal, and I feel like that's understood amongst everyone. I mean, obviously Campbell is an amazing coach. Like, even the coaches under him, phenomenal guys. Like, they want the best from you. They want the best for you. So yeah, it really is. It's a great program to be a part of.
Were there any major differences that you noticed between this year and last year because we lost some key players from the draft?
Okay. So my first season, I didn't have a position group that I worked with. I technically worked with specs, but then I transitioned into more of like the technical stuff in practice, so running the clock, running play clocks, and stuff like that. So for me, I didn't really have the knowledge of like, okay, how great like the contributions Darian Porter had to the team, or like obviously I knew Jalen and Jaden were key players and helped everything run smoothly, but I really didn't have the knowledge. So coming into this season, I was just like yeah, obviously we lost a lot of great guys. They went on to the NFL, but I didn't completely know how that was going to affect our team. And I feel like we've done a good job at still like having a good season, especially compared to past years where Iowa State football like didn't have a winning record. I still feel like we definitely are performing and yeah, we're making plays. We have a good record. Obviously, not having some of those key players or like our players who are kind of stepping it up into those roles are now injured, unfortunately. But yeah, I guess like that's the extent of my knowledge and kind of like how I viewed that coming into this season.
Yeah. Yeah, it is cool because unfortunately you don't really see too much defensive rookie highlights, but it's really easy. If you want to see an Iowa State player in the NFL having highlights, just look at the Houston Texan wide receiver room.
Yep, absolutely.
Have everyone except Nico Collins is basically an Iowa State graduate. And obviously, as a Lions fan, I could see David Montgomery every week doing his thing.
Right.
And he's had a couple insane games this year. Between the game against the Ravens, he had well over 100 yards rushing, including like a 60-yard run that set us up. He had 2 touchdowns. Then he had a game. That's the thing. The week you guys were in Cincinnati to play Cincinnati, David Montgomery for the Lions was in Cincinnati to play the Bengals, and he is from Cincinnati. That's where he grew up. That's where he went to high school.
Yep.
So yeah, that was cool. Threw a touchdown that game. That was fun.
Yeah. That was neat.
I don't know how that wasn't the play on the Cyclones in the NFL highlight reel that they show every game.
Really should have been.
Yeah.
Definitely needed to incorporate that.
They showed his other touchdown that game where he ran it. I don't know why they didn't show the one where he threw it. But I guess they made up for it by showing the Breece Hall throw game-winning touchdown that he had against the Bengals.
Yeah.
Man, they can't stop running backs from throwing the ball. Maybe that's why Aaron Glenn decided to run that play. It's... I miss Ben Johnson, his play calling so much. I saw the Bears running trick plays last week, throwing the ball to their quarterback.
That was actually a really cool play.
Yes, of course. Ben Johnson designed it. Of course, it was a cool play. And I love Johnny Morton's been doing a good job for the Lions, but it's not the same.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I don't know. I was always the same way with the Cowboys. Like, I'd have almost an emotional attachment to each player. Like, when we trade away Jason Witten, oh my gosh, I was crying. The coaches, though, I've never really fallen in love with. Like, I'm okay when it's their time to move on. Yeah,
it's kind of, maybe it's just different because the Cowboys are really consistent in who they are. Meanwhile, the Lions are good for the first time in my life. So it's like those people that helped us get there is a very special connection, especially when you're the best offense in the NFL. You want to keep the guy who created that offense.
Yes.
But yeah, obviously the players are more important. Like, hopefully not for a very long, I hope not to have a big player leave for a very long time, but I've had players like that. You had Jason Witten. I had Calvin Johnson, who I think is, if he'd played longer, he'd definitely be top 3. I still think he is a top 3 wide receiver in the history of the NFL. Elite skill-wise alone, easily top 3 with Jerry Rice and Randy Moss. But, man, being around 10 years old and then him retiring out of nowhere broke me.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and then obviously the Stafford trade. I wasn't happy when we traded T.J. Hawkinson a few years ago, but it worked out. That one worked out. This Sunday, he'd been on the Vikings for 2.5 years. That was the first time he'd beaten us.
And that was a close game at least for you guys.
Yeah, it was a close game. Yeah, the defense did decently. The offense just couldn't do anything. Except when we threw the ball to his replacement, Sam Laporta, who I think might be even better than T.J. It's close, at least. They're about the same skill level because they're both. As much as I hate Iowa, as much as I hate the University of Iowa as an Iowa State Cyclone, they produce really good tight ends. I have to give them the credit for that.
What's Cooper DeJean?
Corner.
A corner. Okay, there's a cereal that I have been on the hunt for, and I know I shouldn't be because he's from the University of Iowa, and he's an Eagle. So,
Yeah, but he beat Mahomes.
Okay, so then it's okay.
Yeah, on his birthday, he picked off Mahomes for a pick 6 in the Super Bowl. On his birthday.
That's right. I remember watching that in the den, actually.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun seeing the Chiefs is getting whooped in the Super Bowl. That's the thing. When they lose in the Super Bowl, they get destroyed in the Super Bowl. It's happened twice, and both times were really bad.
Yeah.
And this time they can't say, but they had Tom Brady. But, yeah, that's all. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, Iowa is truly tight end university, unfortunately. They've got George Kittle, who always you better keep losing those bets to Brock Purdy, baby.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sam Laporta, who will keep losing those bets to David Montgomery. Hawkinson, no Vikings on the Lions. No, Iowa State on the Vikings.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah. And then I think Noah Fant, I can't remember what team he's on right now, but I know he went to Iowa, another good one. But yeah, I guess we don't have a position we're excelling at the moment except Texans wide receivers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we just have a couple kind of everywhere. Couple really good, couple good running backs, few good receivers, couple good defensive linemen, couple solid corners. Unfortunately, I haven't heard much about them in the NFL.
Hey, I heard Darian Porter's starting this week.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Rumor has it when we were talking about all the trade stuff today at work, that was something else that was brought up.
Okay, yeah. The Raiders need something to change, although it's probably their quarterback more than their defense. But yeah, the Seahawks seem to have this insane ability of getting rid of a quarterback right before they fall off. They did it with Russell Wilson, and they've done it with Geno Smith. So whenever
who's their quarterback now? Because they played pretty good on Sunday night.
Sam Darnold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was he on the Vikings?
Yes.
Okay, that's why I know that name.
Yes. Although he was he's an interesting story in the NFL. He was the 3rd overall pick his same year as like Baker Mayfield, who was number 1. He was 3rd overall pick to the Jets. I believe his first throw was a pick 6 against the Lions.
Oof.
But then he ended up winning that game because Matt Patricia is a terrible head coach and the Lions sucked at the time. But yeah, obviously he's a Jet. Obviously it didn't go well.
Yeah.
Then he went to the Panthers with Baker Mayfield. So they had the 1 and 3 overall pick from that draft. Neither of them did good. They were both gone after that season, I think. He was a backup in San Francisco under Brock Purdy, good Iowa State legend. Then he signed with Minnesota. Everyone's like, oh, he sucks. It's not going to go well. They won 14 games. Then the Vikings, I guess, just really trusted J.J. McCarthy, who did unfortunately play really well. Maybe he can only play well in Michigan, apparently. I guess, because national champ at Michigan, played his first like full good NFL game in Detroit, Michigan. And then, yeah, obviously Sam Darnold is an MVP candidate this year. Honestly, he's having an incredible year.
I would have said that about Dak up until these last couple games.
Yeah, and that's the other key difference is he has a team. And unfortunately, you can't be MVP unless your team at least makes the playoffs.
Hey, don't count us out yet.
Okay, that's fine. That's fair. Or maybe win the division.
We're working our way there.
I think the Eagles are going to beat you. But yeah, we saw it with Joe Burrow last year. If the Bengals had a decent defense, he would have won MVP easily. And obviously, maybe if Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson had done really good, well, also he may have won anyway, but they did. So you're always going to give it to maybe a guy who had a slightly worse year, but won a lot more games. Yeah, that's why that's the thing. Like I said, the Panthers had both Baker and Sam Darnold on their team one year. Those two are 2 MVP candidates this year on different teams.
Good for them, honestly.
Yeah. Evidently, it's crazy. When you are a quarterback on a terrible franchise, you don't do well. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that a quarterback who failed on the Jets or Panthers or Browns couldn't do better at a team like San Francisco or Seattle or even the Vikings? But, the NFL.
Always a good time.
Yeah. And obviously it works out because, and other teams too. I'm a Lions fan. It's true for the Lions. Look, the second Stafford leaves, he wins the Super Bowl. It's not a coincidence. He is only one of like 5 people in NFL history to throw over 5,000 yards in a season. And then he did that. He actually did that with the Lions when he was in his prime in 2011.
So he was successful, just ended up being more successful.
Well, yeah.
With, a stronger team overall.
Yeah, obviously when he finally had a team with a solid line and a good defense, the team itself had. But yeah, he was obviously always good. It's a lot easier to be a good quarterback when you have Calvin Johnson to throw the ball to. But yeah, that's the thing. We went 0-16 when we had Calvin Johnson. We had the best wide receiver in the NFL, and we went 0-16.
Couldn't win a game.
No. That's how bad we were. The worst team in NFL history. Only rivaled by the other 0-16 Browns. So I just pray. I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. Maybe someone doesn't do it for a while. We're not the 0-17 team either. I'm hoping that's like, the Jets haven't done it. Let the Jets do it.
There you go.
Yeah.
They're a good team for that.
Yeah, or the Browns. They don't deserve happiness after signing Deshaun Watson.
I don't completely hate the Browns.
They were sad until they traded and guaranteed Deshaun Watson over $250 million.
You have a lot of ball knowledge that I just don't possess.
Yeah, but it's like famously the worst contract ever, in my opinion.
Right. Common knowledge, of course.
Well, in the big NFL circle, because I thought most of my YouTube videos are NFL based, and people that talk about this stuff all the time.
Okay.
That and wrestling, for obvious reasons.
Checks out.
Yeah. I love scripted sports, football and wrestling, same thing. Yeah. If it ever ends up being true, I have a bone to pick with the script writer from the years 2000 to 2020. That was bad. It's terrible. Hated it, except the Calvin Johnson part. Yeah, it's fun knowing that I no longer am fans for a team that's going to force the best players to retire before their time. If only you can be a fan of a team who know that your owner's not going to screw you over.
Yeah, Jerry Jones just puts me in a really bad mood.
Yeah, I think it'd be fine if you didn't insist on being the general manager too. He's a good owner of a team. He has money.
Give me the opportunity, and I will turn the Cowboys around.
I hope you get it one day, although hopefully for a team that's not the Cowboys. That's the we meet, find out you're a Cowboys fan, and a big one, instant conflict, because ever since that playoff game we got screwed against them, I have hated the Dallas Cowboys.
See, and it's just one-sided beef because I really have nothing against the Lions.
Yeah, it's because before recently we were irrelevant. No one had beef against us, not even our division rivals, because at this point, because it was just sad. But now finally they are starting to hate us. They're starting to loathe our success. I love it. They're finally Packers Lions are actually a rivalry now.
Yeah, I will always root for you guys when you play the Packers.
Same. FTP. But, so you were a part of the winningest season in the history of Iowa State football with 11 wins. Did that kind of just put the culture and happiness just in another stratosphere throughout the season when you were just constantly winning?
I mean, I'm sure it had to have. Obviously, I had, it being my first season, I had no clue what the vibes were or the energy was, seasons where they weren't necessarily in a winning record or more of an average record. So being a part of this, yeah, I mean, the energy was great. Obviously, we were always focused on the game ahead, doing what needs to be done. But just, being able to enjoy, win after win, the success that the team was putting out, it really was just a great environment to be a part of. And obviously, I wasn't expecting that for my first season. So just, all the different opportunities I was granted through, our record, obviously, the Pop-Tarts Bowl or the Big 12 Championship, that was pretty amazing. So definitely a great first season.
Yeah. Matt Campbell's good luck charm over here.
I mean, hey, I'll take that title.
Yeah. It's been interesting. You're a Cowboys fan. You've seen a lot of successful seasons in general, just at least playoff appearances, a couple playoff win, division win, or whatever. I haven't had success in sports fans I've seen until the last 3 years. Because Lions started winning finally, won playoff games. My favorite baseball team, the Tigers, finally started winning, going to the playoffs again. Won a playoff series the last 2 years. I go to Iowa State. They're immediately having the best football season of all time outside of winning a conference championship.
Right. I mean, just the adrenaline that comes from that, it's pretty special.
Yeah. Walk us through a little bit, especially being a Cowboys fan, getting to go to AT&T Stadium. Walk us through the Big 12 championship a little bit.
So obviously that wasn't the outcome we had wanted. But for me, as just having that experience altogether, and like you said, being a Cowboys fan, it was just so surreal. Being in AT&T Stadium, I got to see the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders locker room, which was insane. I had this big, as a girl, I had the big light up mirrors with the lights all around. It was so special. And then we weren't in the Cowboys locker room. We both had separate ones, so none of us were in their home locker room. But the locker rooms we were put in was insane. We got nameplates. So usually we do stickers for the players and put them on the lockers. Well, we got nameplates for it. So I have one from the Big 12 Championship with my name on it, which is kind of special. But on game days, I'll go up to the press box. to make sure all the headsets and like coach to player stuff. I don't personally do that, but like I help take things up when needed or anything like that. So I was up in the suites. I got to see Mark Cuban's suite. Like it's just amazing. Every game when I'm up in the press box, I always get a .5 photo of the field. Wow. So getting to see that, and we got lost up in the suites just because the stadium's huge. So I'm just walking around looking at everything, just trying to take everything in. But yeah, that it truly was, because I've always told myself like I want to go to AT&T Stadium to experience it. So to be on the sideline, that was just, it was incredible. And you know, like I have a job to do, so I'm trying not to fangirl, but it's like kind of a wow, I made it moment.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully you are on those sidelines one day, whether as a member of the Cowboys or a team playing the Cowboys and hopefully beating them, unless you're working for the Packers.
Yeah, that's that's very true.
Yeah. So yeah, and also as a Cowboys fan, this year you got to get to play Colorado, who are obviously led by primetime himself, the big man Deion Sanders. Did you ever like look across and just like see that is one of the greatest, not only one of the greatest Cowboys of all time, that's one of the greatest, that is arguably the greatest cornerback in the history of football on that sideline right there.
Yeah, that was okay. So I didn't have my contacts in and I don't wear my glasses anymore. So I'm like trying to look across and I'm trying to find him. I'm like, where is Deion? Like, I was like, I just want to lay eyes on the guy. And I can't find him. I can't make out his face, nothing, because I can't see for the life of me. And finally, like, one of my other coworkers obviously knew how excited I was. And he was just like, hey, like, there he is. And put it across. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, that is just the coolest thing ever. So I did. Like when I was looking up at the video board, I was able to see him more. But yeah, like you said, just being on the other side, it was just insane. And actually, so the two ball boys who goes on the opposing team's side, they said Deion was riding around in a golf cart and had like rode up next to him and just like, hi guys. And just like kind of said hi and like made small talk with them. And I was just like, why couldn't that be me? But I was like, I don't know. It's kind of an unreal reality in a way.
Yeah, that's why when we got to those last couple weeks, especially the last game of the regular season last year, we're going to play Kansas State, and there's 4 teams that all have possibilities of making the Big 12 championship. I was kind of hoping for Iowa State versus Colorado because, I just thought it'd be fun, you being a Cowboys fan, see Deion Sanders, and then also just the fact that we'd see Shedeur Sanders as the opposing quarterback, and the greatest player in the country at the time, Travis Hunter, playing both sides of the stamina man, being able to play both sides consistently, which I understand why the Jags are making him a wide receiver. I would personally make him mostly a cornerback because it's a lot. You have good receivers. Anyone can catch the ball. Not everyone can guard your number one guy.
Yep.
But, it's the NFL. Offense pays the money, so people want to go see the guy on offense. But, Travis Hunter's just so good. I understand Genty had a really good season last year as a running back. I'm going to say the guy that played two ways in power forward play over the guy that ran really well in the smaller conferences. But both would have been deserving of the Heisman, but
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously instead we got the man who stole every NFL fan's heart this year against us in the Big 12 championship, Cam Scatterbo, last year.
Yeah. Love-hate relationship with Cam Scatterbo because of that. But he's kind of won me over now that he's in the NFL, and just his personality can't get enough of.
Yep. Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo, 2 frat boys taking over the NFL right now. And yeah, it's also, I think he could be the running back version of Gronk if he's able to prolong his career a little bit. Just the way his attitude, he's perfect for that role. And I really loved when I was watching the playoffs when they had their playoff game against Texas in the second round. Man, he he almost led them to that victory. So he played so well in that game. He did everything for that Arizona State team that he was voted offensive player of the game without being on the winning team.
Was he really?
Yeah. And that kind of stuff rarely happens in sports. Like obviously in football, it's never happened. No ones that won Super Bowl MVP without winning the Super Bowl. In the NBA, it's only happened one time where Jerry West played so well and they voted before the game 7 that he won MVP. I guess it happens in hockey every once in a while because it's more of a playoff as a whole trophy rather than just the final.
Okay, I've gotten really into hockey recently, so I'm kind of learning a little bit of that. So yeah, my hockey knowledge is slowly improving.
Yeah, because I mostly watch the playoffs, and I might watch especially if the Red Wings have a game that's close. The other day I checked into a game when they were in overtime. Watch it because I got that new ESPN thing.
Oh, okay.
I will say it's way too much money, but you do get a lot with it. It should not be $30 a month though. That is terrible.
But honestly, for someone like you who's so passionate about it, it's
yeah,
probably
and
worth it.
And
you'll get a lot from it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna watch WrestleMania. I have to watch wrestling, so I will pay. Unfortunately, I am what they're looking for. I will pay whatever to watch what I love. And yeah, it does have its benefits. I got it for wrestling, but I get to watch Monday Night Football now.
Yeah,
just in my room. Yeah, it's for a guy in college without cable. Streaming services with football are the best, which is why my parents are gonna cut Peacock soon. I might just buy it for the NFL season every year so I can watch Sunday Night Football.
There you go.
Yeah, but yeah, I said they can't do it until John Cena's final match is on Peacock.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so I'm like, after December 13th, you can cut it. Until then, no. But yeah. So let's see what else was there. So we've talked about the Pop-Tarts Bowl, Cy-Hawk game, Big 12 championship. How about the big game we've had this year, going to Dublin, Ireland for the Week 0 game against Kansas State?
Blake, I cannot begin to tell you what an amazing trip that was. I mean, wholly once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, honestly. And then just getting to see and experience like a whole different culture. I mean, it was amazing. I had such a good time. The hotel we stayed at, oh my gosh, it was so nice. And then like we got bussed around everywhere because usually when we're in an away game, we get our like own car. And we go to and from the stadium, but here we got bussed around because driving there is crazy. And so we'd always take different routes. So we got to see like a lot of the area, and then we'd go out to dinner after practice as a group. So we'd get to walk around, and it was just beautiful. They had a really fancy McDonald's. We obviously didn't eat there because we're in Ireland. Why are we going to have a McChicken? But like their McDonald's was even really cool. So I don't know. It was a really good time. And then the stadium was really neat. That was a really cool experience. And then, okay, so it was like a rain game. When there's rain games, there's more for me to do on the sideline because I have to, like, if the receivers need or running backs need rain gloves, then I'm switching those out. But it's like, okay, if it stops raining, they're going to want their regular gloves back. So keeping track of those and then dishing out raincoats and pants to coaches. And it was just so on-off. Like, I really didn't catch any of that game. But yeah, it was just a really good time. The flight was 7 hours. And you had to be mindful of your sleep schedule because when we left and like when we landed, like how long we were going to be awake for and all that. So on the way there, I had to stay awake the whole time or else, because we landed in the morning. We left at night, landed in the morning. Like I kind of had to stay awake for that, or else they were like, you'll be very jet lagged is what they kept saying. The airplane food was actually really good. It was like cheese ravioli, and then it had some cucumber feta cheese salad with it. It was phenomenal. So that was really good. I ended up watching like Wicked on the plane and The Breakfast Club. I watched that. But then on the way back, like You've never seen The Breakfast Club?
I really need to. It's on the watch list, but
Yes, you need to watch it. It's
Yeah.
a classic.
I know it's a classic. That's why I really want to. But there's a lot of classics. I haven't even
That's
seen
fair.
I haven't even seen The Godfather and I call myself a movie fan. I haven't seen The Godfather.
Yeah, I feel like as a movie fan, you definitely should. Me personally, I've only seen like half of it, but it's also not something I'm really into.
Yeah, I need to. I want too much sci-fi. Too much sci-fi is, and I'm not gonna. I guess I shouldn't say that. I love sci-fi, so I'm not gonna say too much of it. But that is, but the
That's your go-to.
Yeah, because I mean superhero movies, man. I grew up in the movie of superhero movie prime, with the whole MCU and Avengers movies, which it's died down since Endgame, but I mean, it's still still my favorite movie of this year that I've seen was Superman.
There was a Superman produced this year?
Yeah,
Really?
really good.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's anything else from Ireland. I mean, we did like a lot of like community events and stuff. So I got to help out with that. They said brilliant a lot, which I feel like is something we should say in America because I don't know, being told I'm brilliant was just a really like big confidence boost.
Yeah, I swear, whenever I watch Harry Potter, if I do a Harry Potter marathon, I say brilliant way too much for the next like few hours afterwards. And oh man, my Harry Potter phase was, oh my goodness, yeah.
I mean, hey, I went through that too.
Oh yeah,
I still have my wand.
I have 3.
Really?
Bryce gave me one of his, I think.
Oh,
But,
okay.
but yeah, between just a Christmas gift the year I became a Harry Potter fan, Harry Potter's wand, replica of Harry Potter's, and my trip to Universal Studios.
Yep, that's where I got mine.
Yeah. What are your goals for after college? Is the NFL in what you hope is in your future?
I've always thought like an NFL internship within equipment would be really neat. Maybe if I went into like operations or something for them, just to do like a summer thing. But truthfully, just like what I want to do like with my life of obviously like raising a family, and being involved in like that, I guess. I'm not sure if that's like the career path I want to take. If the opportunity presents itself for like a couple years, so like 5 years max, sure. Like I'd absolutely take a job position with the NFL or even in college sports. But yeah, I wouldn't mind a marketing job. I mean, that's what my major is, like full time. If I could somehow do that within sports or even concert venues, just because I really do. Like I enjoy the travel. I enjoy being a part of the team. I think I'd definitely be happiest if that's like my end career, but I don't think it'd be anything as major as like the NFL long term.
Yeah, because I know you and I just hypothetically and we've done it this episode, you being NFL coach or whatever, like the first female coach to win Super Bowl or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, yeah, obviously it's going to take a little while for that to. We need to get female coaches in the NFL first. Might be a few smaller ones, but yeah.
I know there's a running back coach for the Commanders at least a few years back because I really looked up to her and like her story. So, I mean, it's definitely doable.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I'm necessarily the right candidate.
Yeah. Thank you for watching this episode of the At the Helm podcast. I'm your host, Blake Helms, and have a good day.